Welcome everybody to a new analysis of trigonomics. My name is Dario, and today with this episode I'm going to lead you through what happened to Amazon, and through the T-cycle analysis we're going to project what is going to happen in the next future. So first of all, let's jump as usual a little bit back into the past, in particular in 2018, where Amazon touched the lowest price at $65.35. In here, we identified T plus 7, which is a multi-year downward cycle that was made of the following. The first yearly downward T plus 5, the second downward yearly T plus 5 cycle, and another T plus 5 that ended up with this low at $103.95. You can always check and gauge the time for every cycle. So this first yearly cycle lasted 303 days. So 303, it's mostly towards the longer duration for a T plus 5. Then we had another yearly cycle which lasted 247 days. And we should have had also another cycle that was ending here at 308 days, which is actually what we had. But instead of having a new yearly cycle, we have had a T plus 4 Bayer-Tong. This Bayer-Tong T plus 4 lasted 153 days. If you don't know what a Bayer-Tong is, go to our channel in the playlist and click on the introduction to the T-cycle analysis so you can have an explanation what a Bayer-Tong is. So basically, we have had the first, the second, and the third yearly cycle plus a Bayer-Tong, and with the low occurred on the 9th of January 2023, we started a new multi-year cycle, which at the moment seems really a T plus 7, so a cycle that can last between 3 and 5 years. Having said that, we have had something specular regarding the upward cycles. So from this top, we had the first yearly cycle here. We have had also a certain symmetry between the upward and downward cycle. So here the T plus 5 generated a T plus 7 with a push toward the lowest. Then here we have had the T plus 5 pushed the price toward the lowest around $81 to generate a T plus 5. Here we had exactly the same story with a T plus 5 ended up here, and here we had another yearly upward cycle that ended up at $188. We have had on top another T plus 3H Bayes-Thong that generated another multi-year upward cycle with a strong push toward the downside. And currently, this T plus 6 duration is 589 days. So this is a little bit the overview of what happened in the past. But now let's focus a little bit what happened recently, so that we can give more insights and estimation or forecast about where the price can go in the next future. So from this top at $188.11, started a new T plus 6, which was divided in the first T plus 4, the second T plus 4, and the last T plus 4. So the yearly cycle this one, ended up with this stop on February 2023. The total duration was 301 days. Now, from here, we have had a new T+5 yearly upward cycle that, with this candle, occurred on May 2023, broke the top that was developed in February. Therefore, the extension of this yearly cycle has been on the upper side. And we are still on this yearly upward cycle in development. Now, the key question is, how long can we keep rising? Because this is what we need to know in order to manage our positions. So, in order to answer this question, let's have a look at the segmentation of the upward cycle. So, first of all, the T+5 has been divided in the first 6 months upward cycle, and at the moment we are on the second 6-month cycle. The first 6-month cycle duration was 154 bars, and now the second T+4 is at 135 days. So first of all, the question is, how long can a T+5 last? And here it's between 190 and 338 days, excluding for a moment the T+5H. Therefore, considering that this stop occurred on the 2nd of February 2023, the total duration here is 288 days. So at most, we can expect to have still an uptrend for other different days to reach the 338 days, which means that the uptrend can last until the 6th of June 2024, excluding Bayard tongues. So for a regular or standard time, we can still have room to keep up on the uptrend until the 6th of June 2024. So this is the first important information. The second important information is that here we have at T+3, and you can always gauge time. So here we have 68 days. We are actually on the second T+3, which lasted or is lasting 66 days. So we still have time for, as I said, keeping the trend on the upside. But looking at this T+3, we have at most 89 days, which means that we can keep climbing until the 29th of April 2024 at most. Now, through the Matryoshka concept, let's have a look at the other subcycles. So the T+3 has had the first T+2, and now we are on the second T+2. Let's gauge the time again. So the first upward monthly cycle lasted 34 days. Now the second one is 31 days. What does this mean? It means that this T+2 has reached already a medium duration for its completion. Therefore, we still have time to go up, but we have all the necessary conditions to start a retracement. because for the t plus 5 perspective, we have more than a median time for its conclusion. So we are definitely more than 190 days. The second t plus 4 is the same. So we have more than its minimum time for its completion. Same for the last t plus 2. So basically the risk is that having completed this t plus 5, we might have another t plus 5 on the edge. And a t plus 5 on the edge can cause a retracement of the prices. It doesn't mean that we're going to have it tomorrow, but we have to be aware that time now is a little bit stretched. Despite we have still time to go up, I repeat it again, we are at 288 days, and at most we can seek a top by 338. Okay, so I repeat it again, for 338 days until the 6th of June, but we have all the necessary condition now to close this yearly upward cycle and have a retracement. Let's also have a look at the downward cycle. So for the downward cycle, we have had the first yearly downward cycle here, and the second yearly downward cycle, which is the first t plus 3. We have had a second t plus 3 dividing the first t plus 2, and now we are basically at 26 days of the second t plus 2. So for this month, we have more probabilities to have a little bit of a push toward the downside, or even for the next months, April, we might have a possibility to have a retracement because time here for the upward cycle is getting stretched. And if they wanted to close a T plus 4 downward cycle, we are at 104 days. So if they wanted to actually close the T plus 4, they will need a certain time to push the price further down and to close a T plus 4. So with this analysis, I wanted to put you in a alert, let's say, awareness, or to make you aware that time is a little bit stretched and we might expect a retracement in the next weeks. If we look at the target in focus, I'm expecting to arrive in this area around $188. Okay, but once we arrive at this price level, if we arrive, then keep an eye peeled on the potential retracement, because time is giving us a suggestion that we are a little bit stretched, we are over the median time, we are approaching the maximum time for something that can be generated as a push back towards the lowers. So thank you very much. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, subscribe to our channel or put a like on the video itself. See you to the